Hello and welcome to TVB News. The U.S. Federal Reserve on Wednesday raised its benchmark interest rates by 25 basis points to the range of 5.25 to 5.5%. Here in Hong Kong, some banks also increased their interest rates today, and that would mean an extra burden for home buyers. Sharon Tang has more.
Some Hong Kong banks have followed the footsteps of the U.S. and raised their best lending rates by 1/8 of a percentage point to 5.875%. At the latest rate, to pay off a 30-year mortgage of $5 million, home buyers have to fork out an extra $350 a month. A real estate agency said the property market has been quiet ever since the rate hike cycle, although there are signs the market is picking up a little at the beginning of the year when cross-border travels resumed. Transactions in the second-hand market last month fell back to around 2,000 transactions. Meanwhile, the Rating and Valuation Department revealed property prices in the city in June dropped by 0.5% month-on-month, hitting a 4-month low. But the overall property prices in the first half of the year rose by 4.2%. The Housing Rental Index has gone up for 5 months in a row, climbing 0.5% month-on-month. Earlier this month, the government relaxed the city's mortgage policy to allow buyers to borrow more money to purchase properties. Still, a mortgage referral advisor says that's not helping the property market much, as the economy has not recovered, coupled with factors such as interest rate hikes. He also thinks average property prices in the city have returned to levels 5 years ago. Sharon Tang, TVB News.
On Wednesday, the U.S. Federal Reserve raised its benchmark interest rates by 25 basis points to the range of 5.25 to 5.5%. That's the highest level in over 2 decades, as the American Central Bank continues to ramp up its fight against inflation. Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the central bank has made no decisions about any future rate increases, but he made clear that the fight against inflation isn't over.
Since early last year, the FOMC has significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy. Today, we took another step by raising our policy interest rate a 0.25 percentage point, and we are continuing to reduce our securities holdings at a brisk pace. We've covered a lot of ground, and the full effects of our tightening have yet to be felt. Looking ahead, we will continue to take a data-dependent approach in determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate.
The observatory said the standby signal number 1 will remain in force tonight and is unlikely to be upgraded. Under the effects of severe Typhoon Doksuri, some areas are hitting temperatures as high as 38 degrees Celsius, making it the hottest July day ever in Hong Kong. Timothy Lee tells us more.
Hong Kong continues to swelter under the intense heat wave as a result of severe Typhoon Doksuri's downdraft. Many of those who left their homes today were seen carrying umbrellas, while others braved the weather and headed for the beach. The observatory recorded temperatures hovering at 36 degrees or above in several regions throughout the day, breaking the record for the highest temperature in July. Areas such as Shengshui and Yuen Long reported temperatures as high as 38 degrees or above. This woman said she was terrified when she turned on the tap this morning and felt hot water pouring out. This woman said she dealt with the high temperature by buying watermelons and other fruits. Some doctors working in A&E reminded residents that owing to the intense heat, the human body will have difficulty with heat dissipation, and this could lead to conditions such as fainting and lethargy. According to the present forecast track, Doksuri is set to move towards the coastal areas of eastern Guangdong and southern Fujian on Thursday and Friday as either a severe typhoon or super typhoon. It is expected to pass by the city at a distance of 400 kilometers. The observatory forecasts the typhoon signal number 1 to remain in force until tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, Macau will also maintain typhoon signal number 1, with local weather authorities saying that an upgrade to the number 3 signal is unlikely. The enclave is also experiencing intense heat, with a chance of thunderstorms this evening. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Southern Taiwan shut businesses, schools, and canceled hundreds of flights amid warnings of landslides and floods as severe Typhoon Doksuri skirted the Hengchun Peninsula in southern Taiwan en route to the mainland coast Thursday. By mid-Thursday morning, Doksuri was heading towards the southern Taiwan Strait with maximum winds of 191 kilometers an hour. 5 people were killed on Wednesday as the storm swept through the northern Philippines, bursting riverbanks and leaving thousands without electricity. Tens of thousands were also affected by flooding caused by Doksuri, which has a 700-kilometer wide band. Taiwan's Weather Bureau categorized Doksuri as the second strongest typhoon level. More arrests were made in connection with a manhunt for 8 people accused of violating the national security law. All 8 people have fled overseas. National Security Police today arrested 2 former members of Demosisto, suspected of supporting fugitive Nathan Law financially through operating the online shopping platform, the Me Punish Club. It's understood that the latest people arrested are Chan Kok-hin and Lily Wong. Both aged 29, they were accused of conspiracy to collude with foreign forces to endanger national security. This morning, officers searched their homes in Hung Hom and Cheung Sha Wan, respectively. So far, 7 members of the now-defunct Demosisto have been arrested, all on suspicion of operating or assisting in the operation of the Me Punish Club. Chief Executive John Lee today met Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim on the last leg of his week-long ASEAN tour. Lee posted on social media of his meeting with the Malaysian leader, with the CE noting that the Southeast Asian nation is Hong Kong's 9th largest trading partner. Bilateral trade between the two economies reached over $28 billion last year, with a year-on-year growth of 7%. Lee will also meet with members of the local Chinese consulate. The city's chief will stay in Malaysia for 3 days before returning to Hong Kong on Saturday. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has concluded his visit to New Zealand as part of a 3-country visit to the Pacific. Blinken met with New Zealand's Prime Minister Chris Hipkins and Foreign Minister Nanaia Mahuta. He said the door is open for Wellington to engage with the AUKUS weapons development and procurement project. Daniel Rao reports.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken received a traditional Maori Pauhiri welcome at New Zealand's Parliament earlier today as he began his visit to the land of the long white cloud. Blinken was in New Zealand's capital, Wellington, as part of a regional tour that got underway in Tonga. He held talks with New Zealand Prime Minister Chris Hipkins and Foreign Minister Nanaia Mahuta. Blinken said the door is open for New Zealand to engage with the AUKUS weapons development and procurement project between the United States, Britain and Australia.
The door is very much open for New Zealand and other partners to engage as they see appropriate going forward. New Zealand is a deeply trusted partner, obviously a Five Eyes member. We've long worked together on the most important national security issues. And so as we further develop AUKUS, as I said, the door is open to engagement.
The multi-stage AUKUS project announced in March is planned to culminate in the late 2030s and early 2040s. That will see the British and Australian production and operation of a new submarine class and include cutting-edge US technologies. New Zealand has said it is open to discussions on a second phase of AUKUS focusing on military technology. Still, Foreign Minister Mahuta reiterated Wellington is not prepared to compromise or change its support of a nuclear-free Pacific. Mahuta stated the talks also encompass the increasingly contested global environment and the two countries' commitment to democracy and human rights. New Zealand and the US describe themselves as close strategic partners. However, their alliance was suspended in the 1980s when New Zealand barred visits by US nuclear-powered or armed warships. The relationship has become increasingly close in recent years due to mutual concerns about China's presence in the Pacific. Blinken has now departed New Zealand for Brisbane, Australia. There he will hold meetings with US Defence Secretary Lloyd Austin and their Australian counterparts. Blinken's visit comes with the largest Australia-US military exercise due to commence. Daniel Rao, TVB News.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan told Foreign Minister Wang Yi that Turkey adheres to the One China principle and his country does not see China's development as a threat. Wang arrived in Ankara on Wednesday for a one-day visit, holding talks with Erdogan and Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. Erdogan said Turkey and China are both countries with global influence, and the importance of their cooperation goes beyond bilateral boundaries. He also said his country does not support the idea of increasing NATO activities in the Asia-Pacific region. It is willing to maintain communication and coordination with China on global and regional issues, including the Ukrainian crisis. Wang told Erdogan that both China and Turkey are representatives of emerging markets and major developing countries, and they share broad common interests. Back locally, the Western Harbour Crossing as well as the Eastern Harbour Crossing will implement the Hong Kong e-toll system on the 6th and the 27th of next month, respectively. The free-flow tolling service at both tunnels will begin at 5 a.m. and no more stop and pay at toll booths for motorists. At midnight on August 2nd, both tunnels will be closed for about 5 minutes to facilitate updates of the tolling facilities. After the government's takeover of the Western Harbour Crossing in August, tolls for private cars will be lowered to $60 at that tunnel. Tolls for private vehicles at the Cross Harbour Tunnel and Eastern Harbour Crossing will be adjusted to $30. The Kowloon Motor Bus Company's first batch of electric double-deckers will enter service on Sunday in the Kwun Tong district. Timothy Lee took a ride on the new environmentally friendly vehicle to find out how the bus company is promoting green transport.
Covered in neon green paint, KMB's brand new electric double-deckers are hard to miss. Manufactured by mainland auto giant BYD, the first batch of these vehicles will enter service on Sunday after more than half a year of test drives. Like most of the company's newer buses, each electric double-decker can carry 115 passengers and comes with free 5G Wi-Fi services as well as USB ports by the seats. But one of its distinctive features is its use of the Blade battery, a special type of lithium-ion battery developed by BYD. The Blade battery is unique for its small size, which prevents it from taking up large amounts of space in the bus, and its long battery life. Another feature of the new electric double-deckers is that passengers who need to escape from the lower deck by way of the emergency exit must use an emergency hammer to break the glass. Once charged for 2 hours, the vehicle can run for 300 kilometers, which meets the daily operational needs of 80% of KMB's bus fleet. The first batch of these buses will come into service on KMB's Route 213M, which runs around the development site on Anderson Road in Kwun Tong. The bus company said a total of 52 electric double-deckers will be operational by the end of this year, adding that it will consider using hydrogen as a source of energy for its future vehicles.
Passengers on the electric KMB double-decker can expect a quieter journey as there will be a significant noise reduction from the bus. Starting on the 30th of this month, the electric bus will provide services between On Tai Estate at Sao Mau Ping and Lam Tin. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
A recent study by the Chinese university found that depression and a type of sleep behavior disorder could be early symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Family members of such patients also have a higher chance of developing neurodegenerative illnesses. With nightmares, restless sleep, and vivid dreams, we often wake up feeling more tired. For 68-year-old Paco here, his dreams went beyond mere tossing and turning.
Dream appear that the ball is coming. There is a goal, and I will kick my legs, but in a very strong way. Unfortunately, there is a shell hanging on the TV, so I just kick away the TV and fall in the bed.
Paco is one of Hong Kong's 10,000 patients with rapid eye movement sleeping behavior disorder, or RBD. Sufferers physically act out vivid, often unpleasant dreams and frequently with violent arm and leg movements. Also diagnosed with depression, Paco is among the 1,300 subjects in a 4-year study by the Chinese University of Hong Kong found to be at high risk to dementia.
There's most basic marker to predict the future Parkinson's disease.
For those plagued by both a sleeping disorder and depression, chances for their family members to have Parkinson's disease and dementia are also around 4 times higher.
There is more than a simple sleep problem, but also associated with a number of other problems, like mood problem, like constipation problem, because this degeneration is more than one organ. It's a multiple multi-system problem.
Apart from having a healthy diet, researchers said keeping your brain, your body, and your social life active is also crucial to putting the brakes on your cognitive decline. And with a strong connection between depression and dementia risks, learning to regulate and release stress is also important. And that's the news. Thank you for watching.